I'm Ree, welcome back to my channel, Mummy of Four Does Disney, the place for Disney hauls, Disney holiday planning and Disney vlogs. In this video, I'm sharing all of the must-know information before you go on a Disney Magic at Sea staycation cruise around the UK this summer 2021. Now, if you saw this video, you will know that we did manage to book the Disney Magic at Sea staycation, and if you saw this video you will have seen how we told our children, so make sure you check out those videos after you've seen this one. I've also previously shared a video before we booked, so that video covers all of the COVID regulations and requirements for vaccinations and tests and all that kind of thing. I went over all that information in that video. So in this video I'm going to be answering all of the other burning questions that people have been having about these cruises. So before we dive into that, I would just love it if you would join my Disney family by subscribing and turning on bell notifications so you do not miss a video whenever I upload. One of the burning questions about the Disney cruises is, even though it is a UK staycation, so technically we are not going to another country, we are getting onto the ship, which travel documentation are we going to need? Are we going to need passports? And if not, which travel documents do we need? Because we need to get these things organised in plenty of time so we do not literally miss the boat. Now, I've had confirmation direct from Disney, and here is what they say. All guests aged 18 years and older must present a government issued photo ID. Please keep checking our website as information regarding guests under 18 is not available at this time. So I'm reading that as we don't need passports, although passports would count as a government issued ID. I'm pretty sure that our passports have all expired, so if I'm going to need to get them organised, I'm going to need to do that pretty soon. So I'm going to keep checking back on the website to see if the children's passports need updating. So I'm not going to renew them just for the sake of it, because obviously we will not be travelling abroad until next year, and I don't want to waste that time on those passports if we're not going to be using them. So I will be keeping an eye on the website. When I hear an update from Disney, I will let you guys know on here and on my Instagram, so make sure you are following me over on there too. One question I was really keen to know about is what was happening with the shows. Which show will it be and when can we book it? So Disney has now confirmed for me it will be the Disney Dreams show, and we will be able to book it 30 days prior to sailing. Something it's worth knowing before you go is that each adult going onto the Disney cruise over the age of 21 is allowed to take 2 bottles of wine with them. So there may be a corkage charge if you want to drink this wine with your meal at one of the restaurants, but if you want to have a glass of wine in your stateroom, then make sure you pack your 2 bottles of wine per adult. Next thing that might be helpful is to take a lanyard. When you embark the ship, you will be given your stateroom key, which also has your dining rotation on it. We will get to dining rotation in a second, but it will tell you where you're dining each night. It's how you get in and out of your stateroom, but also it's how you pay for optional extras on your cruise, extra drinks, things like that, that you would then get added to your bill to pay at the end. It is quite handy to keep this on you at all times. You can keep it in a bag or a pocket, but it's really helpful if you just get a lanyard before you sail. I have actually picked some up from some small shops over on Etsy. I will be sharing a little small shop Disney haul very, very soon on my channel, so make sure you are subscribed for that. Incidentally, there are quite a lot of Disney hauls already on the channel, prepping for the cruise, including some luggage, all sorts of different things. So make sure after you've watched this video, you have a little look around the channel at some of those videos too. Something it might be helpful to take is a blanket, because the weather in the UK often not that great. So if you are going to be up on deck, it's not going to be quite like the Caribbean where it'll be beautiful, balmy, hot weather. It might be a little bit cold. So if you're going to be sitting out on the deck, a blanket would be quite nice, especially if you've got a veranda room. A lot of people are very confused about dress code, and there have been lots of rumours floating around about not being allowed to wear jeans in restaurants and things. Now, there is a basic dress code where they ask that you don't wear tank tops or swimwear in the restaurant, but it is not a super formal dining experience unless you eat at the Paolo adults only restaurant. Even then, you're allowed to wear jeans as long as they are in good repair. We're not talking tuxedos here. It's not compulsory to really dress up unless you want to, of course. Casual wear is absolutely fine as long as you are wearing actual clothes as opposed to just swimwear in the restaurants. Now, rotational dining, I touched on this earlier and I'm really excited about this. Feedback from people that have been on the cruises and my friends who are cast members that have worked for Disney Cruise Line say that the rotational dining is something Disney get so right. Now, what this means is you get allocated a different restaurant to eat in each night and you get a server that follows your family around each restaurant. So this means that each server really gets to know your family and your children, your likes and your dislikes, and can just make your dining experience even more magical. So let me know in the comments before we get on to our next tip, are you booked onto one of the Disney cruises or have you been before, and which restaurant are you excited to eat in? Next thing is probably worth knowing is that you are allowed to take sealed, non-perishable snacks and food items on board the ship, but you are not allowed to take home-baked items or unsealed items onto the ship, which I'm guessing is a health and safety kind of thing. So just keep this in mind when you're packing, especially your carry-on. You might want to take some snacks for your children, although by all accounts the food on the ship is absolutely outstanding. Some people are suggesting taking a couple of little snacks if you've got children who just love snacking round the clock. Now, there are optional extras you can book before you go on your cruise. If you log in to your reservation dashboard, it will tell you the date for your specific cruise that you can start booking these activities. Now, there is a little caveat that you do have to have paid in full before you can book these activities. These activities are things like the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, the Royal Court Royal Tea, adult only activities, and obviously the Disney Dreams show, which we've touched on already. Let me know in the comments if you would like to see a dedicated video discussing all the different optional extras that you are able to book on the Disney Magic at Sea UK Staycations, and we can really deep dive into what all of those are and which ones we as a family are planning to book. Something is well worth knowing before you go is that you need to download the Navigator app. So this is a really good way to see what you've got coming up on your cruise, which activities you've booked, how much of a balance you've got left to pay. You can change the little avatars next to each of the passengers that are sailing in your party. And while you're on board, even though Wi-Fi can be quite expensive, so you might not want to be making what might end up being international calls. I'm not entirely sure if even though we're in the UK staycation kind of category, if we're going to have UK reception on our phones. So if our phones aren't working, you don't want to pay those kind of international rates, you can use the Navigator app by all accounts to communicate with other people in your party. So make sure that everyone has got that app on their phones downloaded before you leave. Something else that's worth noting is that the embarkation and debarkation times that are listed on your booking forms are not set in stone yet. So those are just given as a general guide. Closer to the time, you'll be given your exact time where you will board the ship and where you will have to get off the ship at the end of your cruise. So I think it currently lists us as 5:30 for embarkation, but looking into it, that's actually the time that the ship is going to sail as opposed to the time that we as a family will be getting on the ship. Fingers crossed we'll be able to get on the ship as early as possible. We have actually booked to stay near the port the night before. I just didn't really want the stress of having to drive and stress about traffic and things and get there all on that day and be super tired having travelled. We have already booked a basic hotel for the night before. Let me know, are you going to be doing the same or are you going to be travelling to the port on that day? Next thing is worth noting is that decorating your stateroom door with magnets is not only allowed but it is encouraged. It's the only thing you're allowed to use to decorate your stateroom door, so make sure it's magnetic as opposed to sticky or anything like that. I believe there is a charge if you decorate it with anything else and it leaves any marks, so make sure it's magnets only. Now personally, I know a lot of people put their family names and things on the doors. I haven't got magnets yet. I don't actually think I'm going to put our names on the doors. Just from like a privacy point of view, I will definitely be getting some magnets and decorating the door, but I don't plan to put our actual names on the outside of the doors. Let me know, are you decorating your stateroom door and are you putting your names or just decorating them with pretty Disney things? So what else do you feel you need to know before you sail on the Disney Magic at Sea? Let me know the questions below. I will do all the research and I will come back at you with the next part of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a massive thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and hit that bell to be notified whenever I post new Disney videos. Videos you may enjoy from my channel are all around me. Click on one of your choice and enjoy. Bye.